Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum dear students, and this is Zakirullah, lecturer Medical Laboratory Technology, Sarad University of Science and Information Technology, Peshawar. Today we will be learning about a new topic. The subject is histopathology, and our topic is fine needle aspiration cytology. Coming to the introduction of fine needle aspiration cytology, basically, fine needle aspiration cytology is a inexpensive and fast method which is used for the diagnosis of different masses or different lesions or lumps in the superficial or deep parts of the body. It is a very easy and very safe technique, and it can be done as an OPD procedure, or it can be done in a routine office. It do not need any special requirement or any type of any anesthetics or any special precautions, because it is a very simple and very easy to perform technique, and it is also very safe as compared to the other types of biopsy, and it is a fast technique, and we can rely on this technique because it is a process in which the report which is produced, or the report which comes from the histopathologist, we can treat any kind of tumor, any kind of disease on this technique. And it is very also we can say that it is a very painless technique as compared to the surgical types of biopsy. So FNAC is a good technique for diagnosis this masses in the superficial or deep parts of the body. Mostly we diagnose a superficial, or also we can diagnose a deep parts with the help of other instruments. Mostly it is done for the breast, any kind of mass or a lump which is produced in the breast or thyroid region, or any we can say lymph node, a large lymph node, or any masses or lumps in the salivary glands area. Abdominal masses, which are we can say that is a subcutaneous or a slightly deep masses, are also we can diagnose different types of tissue swellings which is present in different sides of the body. So these are the certain types of lumps or lesions which we can diagnose with the help of this process of fine needle aspiration cytology. Also, another thing we can say add with the fine needle aspiration cytology is different radiological procedures. It is also helpful to diagnose and to also locate the lesion which are deep inside the body. So just like in case of ultrasound guided FNAC, we will be discussing this in the next lecture, inshallah. So different deep lesions can also be investigated and can also be diagnosed with the help of radiological procedures. For example, the CT scan or computed assisted tomography, angiography, or any ultrasound procedure, we can diagnose and we can check and we can take sample from the deep lesions inside the body. The advantages of FNAC as compared to other types of biopsy, that it is a very simple technique. It does not require any special instruments, any special procedures. It is a very fast technique. We can diagnose a disease, a lump, any mass with very fastly. It is very cheap technique because we do not require any special instrument for this. Also, we can take a sample from multiple areas in the body which have the lumps or masses. So on one time we can sample different sides of the body. It is a very sensitive and a very specific technique, because when we perform this kind of procedure, So we are taking the sample from the specific site and only from that specific lump, which is a diseased portion of the body. So the report created is a very sensitive and very specific report related to that disease. We can rely on them and we can start our treatment. It is a procedure which bypass tissue biopsy, because if there is a small mass in a certain area of the body and we perform the fine needle aspiration cytology of that body part or that mass, so if a report comes and we can treat that site or we can treat that mass with the help of that report. It do not require any surgical procedure to remove that site or any other type or to take sample with the help of surgical biopsy. So we can bypass a tissue biopsy with this procedure. And also additional techniques, for example immunohistochemistry or any other kind of special staining, can also be performed on the sample which is taken with the help of fine needle aspiration cytology. Is a comparison in between the fine needle aspiration cytology and surgical biopsy. We can see that in fine needle aspiration cytology, the different tissue architecture or the capsular invasion or in situ carcinoma, it is difficult or almost impossible to diagnose, but the individual cell morphology, it is very excellent in the fine needle aspiration cytology, and we can diagnose or we can check the individual cytomorphology, that what are the different ratios of the size of the cells and the nuclear cytoplasmic ratio, which is needed in case of any tumor or in case of any cancer. So these are also diagnosed and very well they have a good visualization. So FNAC is very important for the individual cell cytomorphology or the individual cell structures and all the components we can see with the help of FNAC. So we can rely on FNAC report for many diseases. These are the certain requirements and tools which we need for the process of fine needle aspiration cytology. Here we can see this is a piston, and which is holding a syringe with a needle. So this is required for the fine needle aspiration cytology. This pistol is required because it is easy for a person to perform FNAC with the help of this pistol, and it can handle it very easily. So the FNAC process become easy for that to perform. The syringe attached is mostly the disposable syringe, and it is having a capacity of 10 milliliter or 20 milliliter. The needle attached to this syringe is usually 21 gauge and up to 25 gauge, depending upon the type of or the site of the tissue. For example, in case of hard or fibrotic lesion or a cyst with a viscous material, we required a large bore needle. And in case of any there is small lymph node or there is a region where there is a lot of vascular vessels, so we required a thin bore needle. That's why a different size of needles are required in case of different sites. Also, we need to have a clean glass slides along with a spirit swab. Also a fixative in a Copeland jar, 95% fixative in a Copeland jar. We also require sometimes a forceps. Clinical history, it is mandatory for the procedure of fine needle aspiration cytology to take the clinical history of a patient, and this clinical history must include what is the exact anatomical site of the swelling, either in the neck region or it is in the uh, which area of the trunk or which area of the other side of the body. So we need to write a specific anatomical site of the lesion, and we also need to know about the size, the dimension of the lesion, what are the thickness, the length, or the different dimension of the mass. So we need to know about that, and we should mention in our clinical history report. What are the different complaints, sign and symptoms, and how this developed, and what is the duration of that sign symptoms? That a patient having any mass, that what are the different sign symptom is if we have any temperature, any body pain, or any other kinds of complaints. So we should need to write that in our clinical history. And if a patient have performed any previous history from that site, or also we should have to write any previous history if he have performed from other side of the body with the same sign symptoms, or having some any relation with this one. So we should write this information in our clinical history, and also write any bleeding disorder if the person or the patient have, because this is important, as in case of the surgical procedure or in case of any needle stick. So if the person have any bleeding disorder, so he should inform his physician, or he should inform the health care worker before fine needle aspiration cytology. Before the sampling of the patient, we will have to prepare the patient for the procedure. So for preparation, first explain the whole procedure to the patient, that how this process will be done, and what are the different steps in the process, and what he need to know about the process. Is if he have any questions, so he can ask from the healthcare worker. So this process should be explained to the patient before the procedure. And if there is any deep lesion, so take a proper written consent from the patient and sign a paper from the patient that we need to perform this procedure, and we have to make it with the help of different radiological instruments, either it is CT scan or angiography or any other kind of ultrasonography. So we will have to take a written consent from the patient. Another thing is talk with the patient and give him assurance and make him relax before the procedure, that if he have any questions, if he have any confusion, that he can ask from the person who is performing the FNAC. Clean the area of the site of FNAC with a spirit swab before performing the procedure. So these are the preparatory steps for the FNAC. Now, how to take a sample with the help of fine needle aspiration cytology from the mass or from the lesion. So first we will have to clear the area with the help of a spirit swab, as just like we take it any blood sample. Now take the pistol, handle with attached plastic syringe and needle, take it and immobilize the swelling with the help of 2 fingers, and make your one hand free and immobilize the mass or the lump with the help of another hand, and 2 fingers, not the whole hand, either the middle finger or the first finger, or with the help of the thumb or the first finger. So immobilize, as it is easy for the person who is performing the FNAC, immobilize the mass. Then insert, mildly insert or gently insert the needle and remove the needle in forward and backward movement in the mass, that such that if there is any mass and it is inserted into the needle of the syringe, then apply negative suction by withdrawing the plunger of the syringe, because this will produce a negative pressure inside the needle. So any mass which is present inside the lesion, that will try to enter into the syringe with the help of this negative pressure. So we have to put negative pressure on the syringe. Then after some time and after several steps and moving the syringe to and fro motion, forward and backward motion, then release the plunger to stop negative suction. Before withdrawing the needle, we have to stop the negative suction, and after that remove or withdraw the needle from the mass. Then apply a pressure on the site of FNAC if in case there is any kind of bleeding, so that bleeding is stopped with the help of that pressure. Then also withdraw the plunger to get enough air that is inserted in the syringe, and first we have to detach the needle from the syringe and then pull the plunger of the syringe so that air enters into the syringe, and then reattach the needle, and with the help of that air eject if the any kind of material which is present inside the needle or which is present inside the syringe onto a slide to make our slide for staining and then for examination. This is the whole story, that how different FNAC is performed and what are the different information and what are the different steps which is necessary before the process of FNAC. So this is the summary of the whole procedure. Now the smear preparation. For smear preparation, push the material on a clean glass slide. Usually try that it is a grease free slide, and then the material it should be slight away from the end of the slide, so that it does not exceed the limits of the slide during preparation. Then the needle, it should be parallel to the slide and little bended, just like we can see in the picture that it is parallel to the needle, it is parallel to the slide and slightly angled. Then make a smear by gently pressing a clean slide over the lower one to spread the material. Just we can see here that the lower one slide have the material on it, and we place another slide above this lower slide, and like case move one slide to the left and the other slide to the right, so we can prepare one slide we can prepare two slides from a little material. At least we have to prepare 3 or more smears from the samples, and also prepare air dried and wet wicks smears. This is the process. Now what are the different complications which can occur after or during FNAC? That is, the FNAC usually do not have any significant complications except if there is any minor hematoma, or in also deep seated lesion. For this purpose FNAC is also safe. Rarely some complications may occur, and the number of and the ratio of complication is very small. These complications are usually the surgical emphysema, the rupture of aneurysm vessels or anaphylactic reactions, or biliary peritonitis, or any kind of perforation in the intestine, or there may be some cases or some sort of needle tract seeding in case of cancer tissues. So these are certain complications. This is the complication of FNAC, in which is called the surgical emphysema of lung, which is occur during fine needle aspiration cytology. It occurs spontaneously due to rupture of alveoli. For example, if there is any mass near the lungs region, so if a person put a needle into that area and that needle is inserted into the alveoli, so the alveoli ruptures and the air it get out from the alveoli and it is accumulated in the whole body under the skin. So the person get this type of complication during FNAC. It is called surgical emphysema because it occurs in the case of surgical process. Complications of FNAC, another type of complication is a rupture of aneurysmal vessel. Aneurysm is basically any weak region or any bulging or bubble area in a blood vessel which is not normally present in a person. So if in FNAC the needle comes in contact with that region, so that vessels become ruptured and it can cause the bleeding inside the body, and it can cause anemic condition in the person, or also it may lead to any severe condition. So this is also a complication of FNAC, which is usually very rare. Another complication of FNAC is anaphylactic reaction in case of any hydrated cyst. Cyst is a sac-like structure which have the different tissues, for example the bone, the hairs, or any kind of fluids. So when a needle is come in contact with such kind of cyst during FNAC, so the cyst become ruptured and all the component that leaks out of the this cyst and it spread in the body. So during that the body shows its immune reaction to that kind of fluids or that kind of tissues. So there may be any anaphylactic reaction and the person may become diseased or may become complicated in such condition. Therefore this is a slight complication of FNAC. The person condition may become worse after FNAC. So we need to know about the cyst, and if there is any kind of problem, so we have to contact the emergency after this process. Another complication of FNAC is the biliary peritonitis or intestinal perforation. The perforation of the gallbladder, bile duct, or upper gastrointestinal tract is called biliary peritonitis. It is a condition which rarely occurs during FNAC. That these some of these organs or one of these organs become perforated during the process of FNAC. And the last type of complication is the needle tract seeding of cancer, that in case of certain tumors, when we perform FNAC, so some cells during the FNAC it get detached from the needle and it is spread from one side to another side, so it can help in metastasis of the tumor. Contraindication of FNAC, that FNAC do not have any contraindication, but in case of any vascular disease or if any vascular organ is involved, so it should not be performed. This is all about fine needle aspiration cytology, its procedure, its complications and requirements. Hope you all have learned much about FNAC. We will discuss another type of fine needle aspiration cytology, the guided type of FNAC, in the next lecture. Till that time, अल्लाह हाफिज़।